wanted to go live again. Hey everyone coming in. I had really bad Wi-Fi issues, so hopefully I'm not freezing. Hey everybody, hope that you guys are doing amazing. Hope everybody's doing well, okay? Let me know in the chat where you're watching from. I would love to know where you guys are watching from. I want to talk today about quick fixes for getting rid of fibroids and why they can be harmful, right? I want to talk about that. So if you have fibroids, if you are on a journey to get rid of fibroids naturally, or honestly any reproductive health issues, definitely going to want to be on this live, okay? Waiting for more women to come in. I would love to know where you guys are watching from. I know I hate getting on at this time because the ladies in the overseas are sleeping. But I wanted to get on in now, and I'm going to be live again in the morning. Okay, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about quick fixes for getting rid of fibroids. South Carolina, Shalonda, hi, welcome. I feel like you've been here before. Okay, I think. Let me know if you're the same Shalonda, but welcome. Okay, South Carolina, let me know where in the chat where you guys are watching from. Thank you for answering the question. I don't know. People I feel like I've been talking to myself sometimes in these lives, okay? Thank you, yeah, South Carolina. Where else are you guys from? Let me know in the chat where else you guys from, where you guys watching from, okay? And as you're coming in, tap on that screen. I'm not gonna be live for super long, but New York, okay, welcome. Okay, so we have East Coast so far. I've been here before. Okay, yes, I've seen, okay. Then you're the same Shalonda. I've seen you before. So hi, welcome back. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you guys are having a wonderful spring so far. The weather has been great on the East Coast. I've been loving it. Okay, but I want to talk today, ladies, about quick fixes on getting rid of fibroids, why they are doing more harm than good. Okay, let's talk about it, because I know that when it comes to fibroids, I'm in the DC area, Washington DC area, so not that far, but our services are global. I work with women all over the world. Right now, currently, I have clients in 4 different countries. Okay, funny, I was saying I gotta get rid of these fibroid belly, then your notification popped up. Okay, that's the sign. I love it. Yes. As you guys, y'all like the live, tap on that screen, like the live. I love that. So I want to talk about when it comes to fibroids, right? Especially, there's so much information out there on getting rid of fibroids. And this has caused more confusion, more information overload, more women to try a whole bunch of things without ever really addressing the problem. Okay, so I'm talking to women that are on their journey to get rid of fibroids naturally, because you guys know we don't support surgery over here. Okay, and I'm going to stop talking more about surgery because there's just no point of addressing it anymore. If you're still trying to have surgery for fibroids, good luck, because they're going to come right back. Okay, that's all I have to say. But it's all about getting to the root of the issue, the core of the issue, right? And restoring your hormonal balance and dissolving the fibroids naturally, right? So it's so important that work is done, because that also, when we have fibroids, it's a full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue, in case you don't know that. Yes, thank you so much for the follow. Make sure that you're also on the email list, ladies. If you're not on the email list, click the link in my bio, join our email list, okay? You also get a free training once you get on the email list, okay? And also for women that are interested in learning more about womb healing, about getting rid of fibroids, about restoring your hormonal balance, you're gonna want to get on our email list, okay? So I just did a video, I don't know if it's posted yet, on quick fixes. Like, you've outgrown quick fixes when it comes to, a lot of you guys have outgrown quick fixes, these quick natural remedies when it comes to fibroids. Some of you guys have been trying them for months, for years, and it's not addressing the issue. And what you're not understanding is that fibroids, when tumors develop in the body, your body at that present time is not in a healthy state. A lot has to happen before tumors can actually develop. And we need to start taking fibroids more seriously, because I'm not saying be fearful of fibroids, but a lot of people don't take it as seriously because, unfortunately, in our society, it's common. It's not normal, but it's common. So women tend to not, sometimes, especially when they're not getting, when it's smaller, they tend to not take it as seriously. But it's look at it like this. If you could develop a tumor in your uterus or a mass in your uterus, you can develop this in other parts of your body. This is why women also, a lot of times who have fibroids, also have like kidney cysts or, you know, cysts in their breasts. You can develop these issues like tumors and cysts and things like that in other parts of your body, right? So that's why it's so important. Like I said, it's a full body issue when you have fibroids. Fibroids a lot of times do not just come on their own. They come with other health issues. A lot of times women have other reproductive health issues. They have fibroids and cysts, or fibroids and you know, endometriosis, or fibroids and, you know, heavy bleeding, anemia, fibroids and anemia, fibroids and IBS, like fibroids and thyroid issues. This is so common because, again, there's hormonal imbalances. You're dealing with estrogen dominance when you have fibroids. You're dealing with, you know, high cortisol levels. You're dealing with an overloaded liver, right? There's a lot that we're dealing with when we have fibroids. So we don't want to look at fibroids as just a surface level problem. And that's the disconnect. A lot of women are looking at it as a surface level problem. And this is why they continuously, you know, they continuously engage in these, you know, these random natural remedies. I just got an infusion today, iron infusion today. Okay, Shalon, I'm happy that you're here. Hopefully this will be your last infusion that you need, iron infusion that you need, because those infusions, you know, that's another conversation. Like, you know, they throw you off balance, right? Even though I say if you're heavily bleeding and your iron levels are extremely low, get it to stabilize, but also get your iron levels up in the meantime so you never need it again, okay? You never need it again. That's important. I had a client who was bleeding out so bad and used to get repeated iron infusions. And when she started working with me and we, you know, helped her heal, never needed one again. Her iron level stayed up, you know, so it's important. Your body is fully capable of stabilizing your iron levels and increasing your iron levels, right? But you got to give it what it needs, right? It can't do that in an unhealthy body. So let that be the last one and get your iron levels, like work towards it start today, and making sure that you're getting your own levels up and healing your body and healing your gut and balancing your hormones so your body can naturally, you know, produce them, you know, your body can naturally absorb iron, okay? So let's talk about it. Thank you guys for the likes. Thank you so much for the likes. Share this with somebody you know that has fibroids, ladies. For those that are new, my name is Sasha. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Sasha. I'm a holistic women's specialist. And what I do is I help women who have fibroids and other reproductive health issues get to such as endometriosis, adenomyosis, PCOS, get to the roots, the root of the issue, okay? The root of the issue. Heal from the root, not just, you know, temporary fixes. We get to the root, the core of the issue, and help women. I help women get rid of fibroids, get rid of ovarian cysts, get rid of endometriosis, right? From the root. We do the work from the root. Restore their hormonal balance, right? As well as, you know, heal emotional blocks in their womb. Because if we have these womb issues, there's also a lot of emotional stuff that we're holding on to. All right. So love what I do. And I love putting the power back into women's hands. We have so much social proof on our, you know, if you look at my page, tons of testimonials. I have a whole tab for client testimonials on my page. And if you follow me, then you know we've helped so many clients over the years and love what I do. Okay, so let's talk about it. Quick fixes, and let me know in the chat. Listen, we are engaging in too many quick fixes for fibroids, right? But this is perpetually gonna have you chasing your symptoms. I want more and more women to heal, not just feel a little better, right? Not just, you know, take a herb. I want you guys to fully heal. And when we have fibroids, you guys understand that we're also dealing with what is called estrogen dominance. We're also dealing with hormonal imbalances. We're also dealing with, you know, liver, again, lymphatic system, liver, you know, our digestive organs are overloaded. Okay. We're also dealing with, you know, core root issues. So instead of us actually, you know, approaching fibroid healing in a very surface level way, let's get to the core of it. Good nutrition is key, absolutely, but not the only thing. Good nutrition definitely is a must when you're getting rid of fibroids, for sure. Okay, and that's another thing that people want to fight against, right? Eating a womb healing diet. Some people, so not everybody, but some people want to fight against, but it's deeper than that as well, okay? But if you don't have a good nutrition, you can forget it, because what you're feeding your body matters. What you're feeding your body every single day matters, okay? And and a lot of times we're all of these processed foods and toxins that we're feeding, chemicals, all these things, they're one of the reasons why our fibroids are so big, okay? So I want you guys to get to the root of the issue and know that fibroids is a full body issue. It's not just a simple uterine issue. It's not just about, oh, I'm gonna have the surgery and everything's gonna be okay. No, get to the core of the issue and heal. It's not gonna be in one supplement. I'm sorry. There's not one thing out in the market that's gonna help, that's going to do the work. It's integrate this lifestyle in a way where you are living you're living a detoxifying lifestyle. You're living a lifestyle that's going to aid you in healing your womb. Okay? That's what you want to integrate this, right? And I think people tend to go to supplements and things like that to kind of avoid doing the real work. They want to avoid doing the real work. And that's, again, the transformative work, where you're releasing emotional blocks, where you're becoming more aligned with who you are, when you're getting your body and your hormones in balance. They want to avoid that, right? Because that's the hard stuff. Because how you are, when you heal your womb, womb healing, it goes deep. And when you heal your womb, you're not going to be the same person that was engaging in toxic habits and eating any type of way and drinking and just, polluting your body and lack of self-care, lack of sleep. You're not going to be that same person. Right? You're going to be a woman that's pouring into yourself, that has boundaries, that's rooted in who you are. You're going to be a woman that is more connected with your intuition, that's more connected with who you are. And there's some people around you right now may not really, be aligned with that with that woman, right? So I feel like a lot of times we want to hang around, we want to hang on and be in our comfort zone, right? Which is with the same people or the same place, and being the same places and live the same lifestyle. And that's why we want to avoid doing the real work. No, you guys have to, I'm talking to women that want better than that know that they're being called for more. Yes, my doctor told me to change my diet and I did, and I felt so much better. Just good. Still waiting for healing. Good. Remember, ladies, it's not only diet, it's an entire lifestyle, but diet is great. I'm happy that your doctor I'm happy that your doctor encouraged changing your diet, because a lot of these doctors don't understand how important nutrition is, which is crazy to me. They don't learn about it in school. I don't know why they should be giving any type of advice with wombs, because if you don't understand that nutrition plays a major part, that's ridiculous. So I'm happy that your doctor was smart enough to know that, okay? So thank you, ladies, for the likes. I appreciate it so much. Yes, keep liking the video. I think mine got worse when my mom died and her sister and I stopped speaking. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, stress, grief. Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So, Shalonda, I hope that you are, seeking maybe therapy and just going on your healing journey and healing too. I know that's definitely hard, right? And like I said, I always say, when women tend to develop fibroids after the most stressful times in their life. It could be a loss in the family. It could be, a loss of a relationship. It could be divorce. It could be, when during a period when they was having lots of family stress, right? It could have been. It's so many. But typically before that, it was developing. Okay, it's just that the stress was what ignited it. All over insurance and money. Oh, to 2015. I'm so sorry. Whew, that's a lot. That's heavy. That's heavy. So I hope that you're healing through that. I'm so sorry that you're going through that. It's unfortunate when families fight over money. It's ridiculous, but it happens sometimes, unfortunately. But it's important. You guys, ladies, have to do the work, right? I know that. Listen. It's easier to, I just want to go take having fibroids, I just want to take a supplement. No. Or I just want to take them and this. And you just go over. There's women that have been trying different things for months, for years, acupuncture, this, that. but they're never getting to the root of the issue. Why are you avoiding the work? I'm talking to women that are powerfully wanting to do the work. Marital stress too, and genetics. All of my aunts on both sides had hysterectomies. Okay, so thank you for sharing that, Shalonda. So this happens a lot. You're right, it's like a Band-Aid, supplements, yeah. And it's not even a good one, because a lot of times, most of the time, they don't do anything. Because your body is not even in a place where it can absorb the nutrients because your digestive system is blocked up. But let me say this, a lot of women, put a 1 in the chat. Let me know in the chat if you've had a lot of family members who've had hysterectomies. I actually just did a video on hysterectomies. Put a 1 in the chat if you have fibroids and you have a lot of family members, whether they're aunts, whether it's your mom, whether grandmothers, cousins that's had hysterectomies, because that's a common theme with women that have fibroids. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of times, here, it goes deep. There's a lot of like ancestral trauma is real, right? My sisters, okay, great. I'm happy that you're here then, because we got to break the cycle. I say this, ancestral trauma, womb trauma is real. It can pass down generations, especially because when we have these issues, when we have fibroids, when we have these, reproductive health issues, a lot of women don't understand the amount of toxins that's going on in the body, right? Also the emotional trauma. So when your mom is dealing with emotional trauma and she hasn't healed from that and she hasn't processed that, that's being passed along to you. That's being passed along to you. So a lot of times we're dealing with our own stuff and ancestral things as well, right? So when your mom, this is science, when your mom is going through stress and she's pregnant with you, right? You're absorbing that. The baby's absorbing that. Yeah, ancestral trauma, yeah. And also ancestral womb trauma, is real. Generational trauma, absolutely, it's real. So just because our family members have issues with their womb does not mean that we have to as well. So what does that mean? That means that somebody in the family has to be brave enough to break the curse. Somebody in the family has to be brave enough to break the curse of fibroids, of heavy bleeding, of all of this womb trauma, right? So that the generation coming afterwards does not experience the same thing. Somebody has to do the work, right? Somebody has to do the work. I don't want surgery at all if possible. And here's the thing, for ladies that know they don't want surgery, you shouldn't even think of it as a possibility. And I did a video on this, using surgery as a backup plan. Don't do that. I don't want surgery. Stop it right there, period. Go on your womb healing journey so that you know that, listen, and that's going to help you know that you don't have no choice but to go on this journey. That's going to be what carries you through this journey, right? Don't look at surgery as a backup plan. Because when you do that, you don't go all in on the journey of womb healing. I've seen it. I know that's happened to me. My mom was always sad and depressed due to low self-esteem. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So we have a lot of generational curses that we got to be breaking. Yes, and my doctors really recommended me through the surgery, and I'm trying to hold on. Yeah, don't do it. Because it just, like I said, causes the fibroids to come right back. Why would we do surgery and it doesn't get to the root of the issue? Why? I've had, seeing clients that have had surgery, and then they're also not just trying to get rid of fibroids that have grown back, also scar tissue now. It's a lot. So it's you're dealing with surgery, you're dealing with scar tissue. No, you're dealing with fibroids that's grown back after surgery. Then you deal with the scar tissue. No. My sister has had 2 or 3 surgeries now. Yeah. No, ladies, no. So you see, surgeries do not work. I've had surgery and the fibroids have come back. Surgery, so we can now say that you guys see this proof right here. Even though I tell you guys this all the time, some people still don't believe it. Surgery does not work. It just comes right back. It aggravates the problem and it does not get to the root, the core of the issue. So the problem comes back and it comes back tenfold. Okay, let me see. Surgery causes more problems and brings on menopause faster. Listen, it sure does. And your body's already in a compromised state when you have fibroids. It's already in because I tell you guys, when you have fibroids, lymphatic system is overloaded, it's congested. We're dealing with a body that's not healthy. That's unhealthy, but your body cannot be healthy and produce fibroids. It's impossible, right? So we're already dealing with a compromised body, hormones out of balance, liver, our digestive organs overloaded, and then having surgery on top of that, and you think everything's like, it doesn't make any sense. And a lot of women are also dealing with anemia and still having surgery. It doesn't make any sense. I have the small ones that I want gone. And the beauty of it is the small ones, you can get rid of those fast. How to avoid scar tissue. Not have surgery. Not have to actually get to the root, to get rid of your fibroids naturally. That's a good question. To get rid of your fibroid, because the scar tissue comes from the surgeries. My hormones are all over the place. So, excuse me. When you have fibroids, you're dealing also. The root of it is hormonal imbalances. So women that have fibroids are their hormones are out of alignment. They're imbalanced. So it's not just you, right? It's when you have fibroids, endo, cyst, those issues can occur without hormonal imbalance. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, but it's important. You don't want to continue to get cut open. You want to heal. Okay, and I'm talking to, I don't want to assume, but I'm talking to women that want to do the work to heal, that want to go on the journey of womb healing, right? That actually want to get to the root of the issue, restore their hormonal balance, right? Get their organs healthy, get their body healthy, and get rid of the fibroids. And also to release the emotional trauma as well, release a lot of this emotional blockages, because if we have fibroids and other reproductive health issues, we also have these emotional blockages that we've stored energetically in the womb. Also want to release these things as release as well. This is why when my clients, when they're on the journey of working with me and they're releasing this stuff, they're not just feeling lighter physically, they're also feeling lighter energetically, right? And they're also seeing opportunities and abundance and things like that start to open up, because fibroids represent stagnant energy. When women have fibroids, it's like not only are we dealing with stagnation in the body, we're also dealing with stagnation going on there's stagnant energy going on. So you're going to see this in other areas of your life. It could be your career, it could be your relationship, you're going to see something like roadblocks in your life, right? You're going to see it's going to manifest into different ways for everybody, but you're going to see like there's stagnation somewhere. If you had a fibroids and got surgery for it and don't want them again, where do I start to avoid them? Okay, that's a great question. So Jasmine asked if you had a fibroid, got surgery for it and don't want them again, where do I start to avoid it? So if you've had surgery for fibroid already and you don't want it again, right? You still have to go through the process of getting to the core of the issue. You still have to approach this as somebody that has fibroids. You know why? Because you did not address the root cause. So just because you don't have fibroids at the present time, you still have all of the underlying causes of fibroids, because none of that stuff was addressed. So if you don't want to get fibroids again, you got to go through the process of getting to the core of the issue. That is so important. And you have to be ready to make those changes as somebody, and that's sometimes, and that is, sometimes, like I said, women have fibroids, they think that they're in the clear. When they have surgery, they think that they're in the clear. And I'm like, no, you need to start making changes and making them fast, because the worst thing is to go through that traumatic surgery and then to get the fibroids again. That's the worst thing. Ask me how I know, okay? That's the worst thing. So hopefully that makes sense. And let me know in the chat if you've had anybody that's had surgery for fibroids and wants to avoid getting fibroids again, because we have to know that how the body works is that we're not in the clear when we've had surgery. If we haven't gotten to the core of the issue, we got to do the work. I'm so ready. I want to not get them again. Yeah, after you get them, you don't want them again. And I need to know what to do. I don't ever want them again. Okay. So here's the thing. Jasmine, I feel like I've seen your name before. I know I haven't been in live as often as I used to. But you want to get to the core of the issue. And we have courses. I have programs that help women go through the process of getting to the root of the issue, restoring their hormonal balance, and healing their bodies, right? Healing their wombs. Because if we've had surgery, we still have, again, the hormonal imbalances. We still have a body that's overloaded, right? And if you, ladies, too, I'm talking to women too, that's if you've been on birth control too, like these are things that we do to the body that overloads it and places toxins in our body. Hello, my fibroids are 7 centimeters. I should get a hysterectomy. My doctor said, okay, no. Are you saying that you're gonna get a hysterectomy, or are you saying that your doctor said that you had a hysterectomy? Which program do you recommend for that? I would recommend the Freedom from Fibroids Mastery course, Jasmine. That's really good. It'll take you through the process of getting to the core of fibroids and making all of the changes, right? That program is really good, and getting to the root cause and how can I say this? Changing your life in a way that's going to help you heal. And you're going to see that you're going to start to feel better. Your hormones will become more in alignment, because if you haven't done the work and you still have those root causes, I'm sure you have other symptoms that you're probably not aware of, probably. But some women are aware of their symptoms, some aren't. But you're going to see your whole vitality is going to improve. And that's going to avoid getting the fibroids again. But you have to keep at it as well. Okay? Yes, I'm on birth control pills. I don't have a... Ooh, if you're on birth control... And I said this I was my last live that I literally had a couple hours ago was the Wi-Fi wasn't good, so it was like, oh, you want to get off that birth control. Somebody came on saying, because of you, I got off birth control cold turkey. That this is literally causing it's infusing your body with synthetic hormones, birth control, and causing a huge amount of toxins in the body. You want to get off of it as soon as possible. Okay, there's anybody on birth control. Anything for PCOS? Are you saying, do I have anything for PCOS? If you have PCOS, we have to restore our hormonal balance. We have to really repair that endocrine system. She said get a hysterectomy due to the size. So really a 7 centimeter, there you see, and that's why I did a video on hysterectomies and how they're literally, still sterilizing and castrating women. So she's making you get a whole hysterectomy, take out your uterus for a 7 centimeter fibroid. I'm not saying a 7 centimeter fibroid is small, but that you can dissolve that easily. I had a client dissolve a 6 centimeter fibroid in 3 months, like completely. I had a client, and she didn't even take the measurements of her fibroid, but she dissolved her fibroid belly in 1 month. I have the video testimonial on my page. If you go to my page, no. If you take out your entire uterus, do you know what that's gonna do to your body and what that's gonna do to your hormones? That's gonna take your body completely out of balance. This is why when women have hysterectomies, they have all sorts of health issues afterwards. We have to start castrate. We have to stop first of all, I'm happy that you're here. We have to start falling for letting them, how can I say this? Because, surgery is a huge business, especially in the U.S., right? Because we don't have free healthcare. So surgery is a huge business here. And they know that once they take that uterus out, you're going to have all sorts of hormonal issues. And then they're going to put you on those hormones, those hormone drugs, right? That's feeding big pharma. So it profits them to encourage more movement to yank out their uterus. But they're not telling you the root cause, how to get to the root, why you got the fibroid. So you got to stop taking out your uterus, okay? What are your thoughts on getting an IUD? Don't do it. Don't do it. Y'all stop it with birth. I just said don't do birth control. Any form. And I get frustrated with that because y'all know these are, birth control is all the same. And they will try to make it separate. Oh, no, this is an IUD. It's all the same. Y'all stop putting these foreign objects. IUD is probably even worse in foreign objects in your body. Stop this. Stop putting these foreign hormones in your body that your body does not recognize. That's destroying your body on the back end. And women that's been on birth control, what tends to happen? Okay, so even if they're not feeling what they're doing to their body in the meantime, right? What happens is that their body starts acting crazy afterwards. Their hormones start, because that's what you were doing to your body. When you're on birth control, your body's suppressing your natural hormones, suppressing your ovulation, so you don't understand what you're doing to your body until a lot of times till afterwards. And 90% of the time, I would say even 95% of the time, women that's been on birth control, especially if it's been more than a year, they end up getting some type of health issue, whether it's fibroids, whether it's thyroid issues, whether it's blood clots, whether it's always under the tree of estrogen dominance, because you cannot feed your body synthetic hormones and think there's going to be no repercussions of that. So if you've had birth control, you need to detoxify from that. I have my clients detoxify from that, okay? So I actually believe in you. Okay, I'm happy to hear. Listen, in case anybody's know, I've been doing this for years. And if you see my testimonials, like, we've been able to help women get rid of things that doctors say is impossible to get rid of. So it's important. I'm not just talking head on here. I've been doing this for years. I'm a specialist in this, okay? This is what I do for a living. I do this. But if I get off of it, I will continue to have heavy bleeding and continue blood transfusions. Okay, so women like that, so are you, okay, so Brittany, I have to ask you a question. Are you going to be on this for the rest of your life? I did surgery twice and still have fibroids. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. And this is why I tell you guys, do not do the surgery. I'm so sorry to hear that. So now we got to get to the root of the issue. We cannot have no more surgeries. We cannot have no more surgeries, okay? I'm actually going to pin your comment because, again, we have so many, can I pin it? I don't know if it'll let me. But we have so many women who still are using surgery as a backup plan, still, still thinking about having surgery. Listen, they will just come back again, okay? They will just come back again. Why are so many women getting fibroids and endometriosis? Like, what's going on? Ooh, good question. Okay, let's address that. As a collective, and look at it here, right? Look at it here. This is a loaded question. I might have to do a video on this, like a full live, but I'll talk about a little bit. So it's not just fibroids and endometriosis. You see a lot of women are also being diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So here's the thing. Women are as a collective living out of alignment with themselves. They're living out of alignment with their bodies. It starts out with, yes, the food and stress and all that stuff too. Yes, but we live in a lifestyle nowadays that's disconnected from the feminine, that's disconnected from that we live a lifestyle that is more masculine. How can I say this? How can I word this right? The way society is nowadays is more, like I said, is catering. It caters to the masculine, to men, and their reproductive cycle and their hormonal cycle, right? The testosterone levels, because their cycle is 24 hours. It doesn't adhere or cater to a woman's 28-day cycle, because we're very cyclical as women. So there's that. Right? So women are living out of alignment with their natural cycles. And then we throw on top of that the medical system. The women have so much trust in the medical system that has failed them over and over again. That's a problem too, because the medical system is causing you to be more out of alignment with your body, more out of alignment with your womb, not trust your body, rely on them for pap smears and this and testing and hormone testing and this and that, and vaginal testing. So they're training you to be disconnected from your womb and disconnected from your body. A lot of women don't understand and don't know their bodies at all. Right? They let a doctor tell them about their bodies and about themselves. One of the things I teach my clients is how to be their own first healer, right? And how to know and understand their bodies on a deeper level. That's important. Women back in the day knew that and understood that. But women are so disconnected from their self. And when you're disconnected from yourself, you're going to live a life that's out of alignment to yourself, right? So this is why a lot of women are depressed. They have anxiety because they're misaligned. And this is going to translate into having a body that is dealing with hormonal imbalances and tumors and cysts and, holding on to trauma. And like, it goes deep. It goes deep. But all in all, we're misaligned. We're totally misaligned to who we really are. We're living a life that society told us to live. And this is why womb healing is so powerful, because you're literally getting back to who you really are at the core, and you're more connected with self. Okay, no, just to get the healing of the fibroids, then stopping the birth. I'm not saying you can start the process while on birth control, but what I see is that there's going to be a roadblock there, because we cannot be on synthetic hormones and get rid of fibroids, if that makes sense. So you can wean yourself off, and I've had clients do that, we don't take too long. We're like, okay, so they won't have symptoms if they're dealing with lots of toxicity in the body. I would take maybe like a couple weeks to wean yourself off. But while you're weaning yourself off, you have to powerfully engage in womb healing. You have to go all in, right? It has to be a decision. You have to stop. Ladies, you guys know how horrible, if you guys knew how horrible birth control is, you would never touch it. I'm telling you this right now. You would never touch it. They said that it changes your hormones, it changes your pheromones, it just changes even who you're attracted to. That's how deep it is, right? That's how deep it is. It literally changes you, okay? No, I'm not from Louisiana. I've actually never been to Louisiana before, but everybody thinks I'm from the South, though. I have a lot of friends from the South, but no, I'm not from Louisiana. It's so important. So important. This even makes you more disconnected from self. You're literally suppressing your ovulation when you're on birth control. Do you know how healthy it is? You're supposed to ovulate every single day. You're suppressing your own natural hormones and infusing your hormones with synthetic hormones. Don't let them do that to you. Start to wean yourself off of that stuff. If you're watching this, you're on birth control, get off that stuff. Get off that poison. It's essentially poison. When you know what it does to the body, okay? So I want you guys to think when it comes to, somebody asked about, and I think did I answer the question about why does so many women have fibroids and endometriosis? Because it is very common. It is very common. Women are living out of alignment to who they really are, right? This is why my program, when I work with women, we work on the full woman, from the energetics of it to the physical things you want to do to get to the core root of the issue. That's another reason why you guys have to stop with the quick fixes on, I know there's so many quick fixes. There's a supplement here, there's a supplement there, but is it getting to the core of the issue, right? There's a supplement here, yoni steaming. I'm not saying these things don't have their place and not to do them at all, but it's so important to understand. Let's get to the core root of the issue so that we don't have to spend years on the journey of trying to heal our womb and going back and forth. And then, this is why women are being diagnosed with fibroids 1 year, endometriosis another year, a uterine mass the next year. No, we got to do better. The stories that I'm hearing, I'm just like, why don't we get it? Why don't we get it? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? This is my second live for today because my internet was messing up earlier. But it's important that you stop settling for quick fixes. Fibroids is not a surface level issue. Let's go deep. And for women that are wanting to do that, desiring to do that, and some of you guys have already had the surgery, you see it hasn't worked, right? For those of you that are desiring to go deep, to really get to the core of the issue, to restore your hormonal balance, right? To also address those emotional traumas and to start to release them, of fibroids, to physically radically change your life, radically shift your lifestyle habits, we have our amazing Detoxify Your Womb program. And I'm opening up our 2-month intensive on, May 5th, which is next week, May 5th. And where I want to at least 3 to 4 women, right? I'm accepting 3 to 4 women for this, work with them powerfully to help them get to the root cause of the issue, get rid of their fibroids, get their hormones, restore their hormonal balance, get to the core of the issue, heal their body so that they can feel like more connected with self. They can feel, not only get rid of fibroids, but feel amazing. And when you heal your womb, you're going to see other areas of your life start to open up. Like the conversations I have with my clients, like when you are dealing with these reproductive health issues, you're blocked. You're blocked from your creativity. You're blocked from your intuition. You're blocked. There's a lot of stagnation in your life. And when you start healing, you see things start to open up. You see things start to improve in your life. You start seeing, roadblocks start to lift, right? womb healing is transformational. It's transformational work. Okay, you cannot just do surface level and think you're gonna get the same results. I've seen so for women that are interested, if you want more information on our 2-month intensive Inside My Detoxify Your Womb program, the link is in my bio. If you want to go deeper with that and you want me to powerfully coach you for 2 months, right, on a journey of womb healing, get it. You can send me an email, but the details are in the link in my bio. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Get deep into this work, right? Stop trying to do a little bit here, a little bit here. If you have fibroids, if you have endo, if you have these reproductive health issues, you're being called. It's like almost like the way you're living your life is not working for you. The way the toxic habits that you've been engaging in is causing toxins. It's causing not just physical toxins, also emotional toxins. It's causing more. It's causing chaos. It's causing imbalance. It's causing misalignment, right? And I always say this when it comes to a woman that's dealing with fibroids, heavy bleeding, endometriosis, adenomyosis, these reproductive health issues. When she's dealing with issues with the womb, that's a reflection of what's going on in her life. That's a reflection of stagnation in her life, unfulfillment, unhappiness, unmet desires, right? Her life is not how she wants it to be. She's operating from a state of stress. She's in survival mode, right? She's not thriving. She's not there's a block keeping her back. That block, right? There's a block keeping her back. So those tumors don't just represent the fibroid tumor. They're not just fibroids. They're also emotional blocks. So we have to start dissolving and healing this stuff, okay? And and we got to do that from a healed. We got to do that in a healed body. We have to do that in a healed body. Fibroids can't thrive in a healthy body. So I have fibroids and I have endo. There is no I'm healthy and I have endometriosis, or I'm healthy and I have fibroids. I can't believe I'm still hearing that in 2025, but I still am. No, it doesn't work like that, okay? It doesn't work like that. So understand that we got to get to the root cause of the issue. We got to address the root cause. This is how we see powerful results, okay? Any questions? Any questions on quick fixes and on our topic today on fibroids or other reproductive health issues? Thank you guys for being with me on a Thursday evening. Okay, I won't be on here for much longer. But if nobody has any questions, but if you're interested, get on my email list. The link is in my bio to join our email list. Okay, don't just follow me. Get on the email list as well. The link is in my bio to get on our email list, okay? Doctor told me I have 2 large fibroids. I'm anemic and in transition from perimenopause. Okay, so, all right. So that is, perimenopause and fibroids go hand in hand. It's a lot of women getting fibroids. Okay, so when you say, hold on, you say you're transitioning from perimenopause or to what? Sorry, I'm assuming it's to menopause. Fibroids is very common for women in perimenopause, for women in menopause, and for women postmenopausal. Very common, right? Because what we don't understand, and what again the doctors are not going to tell you. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. They're not going to tell you that perimenopause is simply hormonal imbalances. And that during menopause, we're not supposed to feel all these symptoms. That just means we're dealing with hormonal imbalance. Hormonal imbalance, it's never normal to be out of balance. It's never normal. So I have clients in their 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think that even some in their late 20s. So and they come with the perimenopause, they say, I think I'm in perimenopause, and they're, because doctors always tell them when they're having these hormonal imbalances, instead of telling them that, no, you're estrogen dominant. You're out of balance. Your hormones are out of balance, but perimenopause is not a regular thing. And they put a name. Hey, Amote, welcome. They put a name on it to try to normalize it, but it's not normal. It's not normal to be dealing with hormonal issues. Your body does not break down after a certain age. It doesn't, right? So this is toxins. This is your body has accumulated a toxic load after a while, and then the hormones start going crazy. That's all perimenopause is. You can get rid of all the symptoms that I have clients in their 40s. Once we restore the hormonal balance, ain't no perimenopause. Ain't no perimenopause. You're not meant to you're not meant to go through 10 to 15 or 20 years of suffering because you're a woman. That's a lie. That's a lie you were fed. And I'm tired of these doctors normalizing this, and I'm tired of women suffering and thinking that this has to be their life because they're a certain age. No. There's so much misinformation about perimenopause that it's ridiculous. And menopause should be a natural transition. And to be honest, a lot of you guys are getting menopause earlier than you're supposed to. You know why? Because the reproductive organs are shutting down and you think it's menopause. But then when I'm working with women like in their late 40s and they think they've been in menopause for like 3 years, they're getting their periods back. What does that say? Sometimes you're throwing your body into a menopausal state earlier than it's supposed to be, because of the toxic load. And it's because of, our society today, but we have to get ahead of that, okay? So hopefully, I know that wasn't a question, but I wanted to address that because that's a common issue. And I work with a lot of women who are perimenopause, who are at that stage, okay? Because that's very common after fibroids. Actually, they say the growing number of women getting fibroids is postmenopausal, actually. So, but women in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s are experiencing fibroids. So if your doctor is telling you they'll go away after menopause, they're lying. They're lying, okay? They're lying. Any other questions? Any other questions or comments, ladies? Okay? We have to heal the body. We gotta heal the body. When we have fibroids, it's a full body issue. It's not just a uterine issue. Okay, doctor said it was normal to have hormone. No, she lying. So we have to ask ourselves, who are we gonna trust? The medical, because I'm talking to women that, this is a holistic page, by the way, right? So we don't care what the doctor says. They're gonna say what they say, the limited information they learned in medical school. They're gonna say what they wanna say because they wanna get you to have surgery and wanna get you on hormones. Listen. It's not about what the doctors say. I'm about what are you saying? I want to know what are you wanting to do? Birth control, putting your body in birth control, suppressing your own natural hormones, and throwing your body and throwing synthetic hormones into your body is if you think that's the answer, that's on you. But that's diabolical. You guys stop letting these doctors fool you into thinking that there's something wrong with your body. They fool women in their teens and 20s, and they fool women in their teens and 20s, hey, get on this birth control. And then 30s and 40s, they're fooling women into getting on hormonal drugs. The medical industry has failed women so much, the medical system. Instead of telling you what's the root of the issue, getting to the root of the issue, restoring your hormonal balance. It's ridiculous. How do we match? So it's not about what your doctor says, because we know the doctors don't heal. We know the doctors keep you sick. It's about, what do you want to do? Okay? Because I'm talking to women that's trusting their body's capabilities of healing. That's not looking for answers at a doctor. That cares about profit over people. Okay? That's working for a system, that does not care about healing. They care about keeping people sick. So we got to get over, a lot of time, the medical system has a lot of women in Stockholm syndrome. They have a hold on a lot of women, and we have to, what decision are we going to make? Because a lot of women are toeing the line on trusting their body, but they still hanging on to what their doctors say. Pick a lane. Pick a lane. You're gonna trust what your doctor says, because I wouldn't even listen to it. They would just go in one ear and out the other. If you're gonna heal your body, then heal your body. Why are you listening to them? They want to put you on these hormones and have you jacked up for the rest of your life. We don't got time for that. We don't got time for that. Okay? Ooh, sorry. Hopefully that answered your question, because how do we manage modern day stress? I'm gonna get to that, Trish. A lot of doctors do not know what they're talking about. They don't. Listen, when it comes to hormones when it comes to reproductive health, if you're going to a doctor for your reproductive health, good luck. Because when it comes to women's health, reproductive health, I didn't say if you get shot, stabbed, whatever, please go to the doctor. Please go to the doctor. If you get your arm cut off, please go to the doctor. When it comes to your reproductive health, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They will have you hormones, birth control, surgery, medications. Good luck, okay? They don't know. They're not trained, and they're not trained for healing. They're not trained to get to the root cause of the issue. So why are we going to them for reproductive health again? Because they're causing more harm than good. They're causing women more harm than good. You see the state of women's wombs, okay? I feel like the body has the power to heal itself. Okay, then we shouldn't even listen to what our doctor is saying if that's how you really feel, okay? What's the difference between Shrink Your Fibroids in 12 Steps and Freedom from Fibroids? Freedom from Fibroids Mastery course goes deeper. The Shrink Your the 12 Steps on how to Shrink Your Fibroids, that's a retired course, but the Freedom from Fibroids Mastery course goes deeper. And if you want the description for the course, the link is in the bio, okay? Do you have, like, I don't know, do you have the 12 steps? Limited training in school, they are taught to only treat, I'm not sure. But yeah, they're not trained to heal. They're not trained to coming back. Okay, tell me why he didn't know a senior oncologist. I'm dealing with a family member in the hospital that was in the hospital. Thank God that's not in there anymore. And what I've seen is even worse. Y'all putting y'all trust in life into these doctors' hands. Good luck. Because what I've seen, like really behind the veil on what's really going on, it's worse than I even thought. I can't believe it. Lord have mercy. I can't believe women are still going to doctors for reproductive health. I just can't. They got you running around. Women that have fibroids, they ultrasound, pap smear, biopsy, all this crap. And you still got the fibroids. You still got the heavy bleeding. You still got the... What are we doing here? What are we doing here? May God protect us all, especially since God says my people suffer because of lack of knowledge. Exactly. Ooh, that's a good quote. My people suffer because of lack of knowledge. Absolutely. And here's the thing. God helps those that help themselves. I'll be honest with you, because we can't be living a toxic lifestyle and that we know that's and going to the same people that's just gonna put pills up in us, slice us open, and think that's and then call on God. Come on now, we have to do better than that, because even in the Bible it says that I put everything on earth to heal you, and he didn't mean medications and being sliced open. Okay. Me to avoid getting surgery again. Freedom from fibroids. Yes, I do. I just want to know which one is best for me to avoid getting. If you have, even though the freedom from fibroids does go deeper, if you have the 12 steps, then you could just stick to that. Okay, you could just stick to that, but you gotta follow them, Jasmine. You gotta follow the steps. Okay, so if you already have the 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full bundle course, then you're good. Now, you gotta follow them though, okay? Because I think you sent me an email one time. I don't know if that was you or somebody else. Let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to read what you. And they can be invasive. Absolutely. I asked my doctor why. He asked why. He said I have high estrogen. Okay. They don't know what the hell they're talking. They just talk out of there. They don't know. They don't know. This live with hold on. I hate the fact that TikTok always does this. When it's I can't, have I been on here for an hour yet? Okay. So thank God for knowledge and wisdom. Absolutely. And thank God for some common sense too. We gotta start using it. I love y'all. We gotta start using it. Because a lot of us abandon our common sense when it comes to doctors and health. I don't know why. We gotta start using it. You are a very smart women. Let's start using that. Your words are true. God richly bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why in the U.S. they want you to do a hysterectomy? Are you talking about hysterectomy ASAP? Because I have fibroids in here in the DR. They say keep your organs. Ooh, that's a good question. You see in other countries, they will encourage you to keep your organs. And in the U.S., they want to rip them out because When I tell you guys the history of, and I just did a video on hysterectomies, the history of hysterectomies, it really was used to sterilize women that were too rebellious, that weren't listening to their husbands, that they felt like was too emotional. They would do it. They would take out their uterus. Listen, it's castration. They can't, and the U.S. encourages it, and it's because they don't respect the feminine. They don't. They don't take. They're not. You don't see them taking out men's balls and their penises, and you're not seeing that, right? It has to be something really wrong before they take out the prostate or anything. Like it has to be something really wrong. But with you, every little thing they want to take out your uterus, and you are like even considering that, and it's only women in the U.S. and other countries. They understand. I would say U.S. and England, because they kind of like the U.S. too sometimes, right? And they understand the power of the womb and how precious it is. It's not just for having babies, it's for that, but it's also deeper than that. They understand the meaning of having the uterus and keeping their organs. But in the U.S., they've trained you guys to not care and think that your uterus is just a useless organ. That's diabolical to me, okay? So I think, Trish, you asked about stress. How do we manage the daily stress? That's a layered question, because we have to go to what's keeping you stressed, what's keeping your body in a state of stress, right? So we have to start, like I said, for some women it's emotional stress from the past. If it's that, then we have to start like dealing with this stuff. If it's trauma, if it's like, we have to start processing through this stuff and releasing it. But if it's people, places, or things keeping us stressed, then change it. We're adults here. We can change aspects of our life. If it's a job, we have to look into getting a new one. If it's, so what is keeping you in stress? You want to answer that. Ask yourself that. Maybe that's something you have to journal and write down. What is keeping you in stress? Can vitamin D3 help with healing our root cause? No. If you want vitamin D, go outside. But listen, when you have green tea, a lot of times that has caffeine. I did a video on that. Y'all stop looking for remedies. Look for healing, okay? Look for healing, right? Get to the root. So if we have fibroids and other reproductive health issues, right? We have a digestive system that's overloaded. So a lot of times it's not absorbing iron, it's not absorbing vitamin D, it's not absorbing these vitamins and this is why a lot of women that have fibroids, they're nutrient deficient. They're nutrient deficient. So get to the root of the fibroids, right? Green tea, a lot of times it's caffeinated. No, if you want to do, I'd rather you do herbal tea, but this is not getting to the root of the issue, right? Getting your organs healthy so it can absorb nutrients, right? That would be a better start, if that makes sense, okay? I'll watch your videos on YouTube, okay? And Shalonda, when you're ready to, also when you're ready to work with me, on really getting to the core of the issue, because we don't want another infusion. We don't want another infusion. We don't want, we don't even want to consider surgery, okay? But anyway, for those women that are ready to work with me, I have our 2-month intensive in my Detoxify Your Womb program opening up May 5th to work with me powerfully for 2 months on getting to the root cause of your fibroids and healing from the root, dissolving your fibroids from the root. We've helped women over the last few months get powerful results from working with me for two months, okay? For 3 months, for 6 months, right? Get to the root of the issue and dissolve it and restore their hormonal balance, right? And really work towards releasing this stuff, okay? It's so, so, so important to get to the core of the issue. So if that's you, if you want to go through the process powerfully, you want to be guided through the process, right? Be sure to check out the link in my bio. Check out our Detoxify Your Womb program, the 2-month intensive, and our Detoxify Your Womb program. Again, opens up May 5th. We're taking clients now, okay? If you have any questions, send me an email, send me a message on here about it. All right, I will work with you. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Let's heal. Any other questions? Any other questions about your grocery list? Okay, good. Good. So start there. Start to, get rid of things in your diet and add things to your diet, right? Any other questions? before we go. I don't see any questions. I think this was a great live. I may put this on my YouTube video because my other video I had to delete because it was like going in and out. All right, so love you guys. Have a great night. I will try to come back live tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning. That's my goal. All right. But how can we start reducing the pain of cramps? You want to start restoring your hormonal balance. Okay, I have a fix your period course on that addresses cramps, ovulation, that addresses heavy periods and all the issues with the cycle. But you want to, like I said, start syncing your cycle and also start restoring your hormonal balance. Okay. Any recommendations? Ooh, questions are coming in. Any recommendations for a 9.5 centimeter fibroid? Yes. Start now with getting to the root cause of the issue and dissolving your fibroid. Start now. That's the big fibroid. Start now. Start ASAP. And actually, another recommendation is stop relying on, I don't know whether you are or not, but stop relying on quick fixes and go all in with womb healing. Go all in with getting to the root cause of the issue. Go all in with it. Restoring your hormonal balance. Stop relying on temporary quick fixes here, teas and this and that. Go all in. Get to the core of the issue and don't be afraid to dive into it. Okay? That's my recommendation. That will save you from, trust me. Because we don't talk about how fibroids take years, months and years from our lives. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. I don't talk about that enough. Fibroids really can't, especially for women that are dealing with the bigger fibroids, the fibroid bellies, the heavy bleeding, the pain. Fibroids can really take a lot from your life. Having to go through infusions, from someone with emergency room visits. Don't let it get to that level. If it hasn't gotten there yet, don't let it get to that level. It takes so much from your life. Any recommendations on what to eat with fibroids? I used to have a grocery shopping list on my site. But I don't think I have that anymore. You want to eat a womb healing diet, okay? So, I really don't want to talk about diet because it'll be 100 questions. But a womb healing diet, a diet that's not going to, how can I say this? That's easy on the digestive system. You guys get on my email list, by the way. Get on my email list. Get on the email list. The link is in my bio. I saw somebody hopped on it. Get on the email list. The link is in my bio if you want to learn more. But here's the thing. That's easy on the digestive system. What does that mean? That means we're not eating animal products. We're not eating gluten, dairy. We're not eating things that are going to be harsh on the digestive system. We're trying to heal. So lots of fruits and vegetables, right? And, things that grow from the earth, nuts, seeds, things that grow from the, quinoa, chickpeas, mushrooms, things that grow from that are adding nutrients to your body, and lots of leafy greens, and that grow from the earth. Okay? Any other questions before I go? I'll take one more. Any other questions before I go? Okay, hop on the email list. And again, for those that want to work with me, the 2-month intensive inside of our Detoxify Your Womb program. If you are not able to work with me, we do have our Freedom from Fibroids Mastery course. Okay? Yes, you're right about soy. It is, yes. So that's another thing too. You're definitely right about soy. Absolutely. Avoid all soy. And soy is in a lot of packaged foods. Soy is in a lot. And I think overseas, when I was in Europe, they call it soya. SOYA. Avoid it at all costs. If you have fibroids, endometriosis, cysts, heavy bleeding, avoid it at all costs. Everybody should really avoid it. Okay, because, hold on. Okay, I think you mean my biggest fibroid is 5 centimeters, but I'm having eating pork in 6 years. You mean you haven't ate pork in 6 years? It's not just pork. I didn't just say pork. It's more than, you have to get rid of more than pork. Okay, and it's not only what you get rid of, it's what you incorporate, okay? How much, all the information for the courses and the programs are in the link in my bio. Okay, go to the link in the mastery course. I think it was the original price is $444, but I think it's $333 right now. Okay, the link is in my bio for the Freedom from Fibroids Mastery course. Okay, I'm not answering any questions. I asked enough questions about food, y'all. Sorry, I was typing fast. Excuse. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. Get the course. If you cannot work with me, get the course and start now. on healing your body and getting to the root core of the issue and making the changes. Well, so it's late. Start tomorrow. Start now. Start your journey now. Stop waiting. Some of you guys have been dealing with fibroids for how long? Stop allowing it to steal more and more years from your life. Even if you don't want to work with me, work with somebody. But work with somebody that's going to help you get to the core of the issue. And that's not your damn doctor. You know that. It's not your damn doctor, right? Work with somebody. Thank you so much. Getting my friends together to pay for your courses. Okay, whenever you're ready. It's very good. I just said I'm not going to answer no more questions about. I just said earlier, no dairy. No, so long. What do you mean, so long? Get to the, oh, you're saying that you've been dealing with fibroids so long. Yeah, some of you have been dealing with, how many years? Like, some of you, and you know what? When I look back, fibroids took a good part of my 20s that I can't get back. Don't allow it to do the same thing to you. Some of you guys are in your 30s. This is still your best years. 40s, hell, that's still your best years. Stop allowing fibroids to take years from your life. Like how many, some of you guys, even decades. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. Same here, late 40s, yeah. Some people have been dealing with fibroids for decades, years. No. End it here. End it here. Okay? All right, y'all. That's it. This is a long lag. I can't believe listen, I'm still dealing with jet lag. Can't even believe I have the energy for this, but here we are. All right, ladies, have a good one. And get on the email list. Click the link in my bio. Get on my email list if you want to work with me. You know, the link is in my bio. Check out our courses in the link in my bio. Okay? Bye.